Hi all, welcome to Workato Masterclass Series. Today we are going to see how Salesforce Real-Time Trigger works in Workato. Before we move into our today's agenda, let's have a quick recap on what we have studied in the previous session. We talked about runtime connections and also we have seen how the practically it works in Workato, how it is useful compared to static connections. If you have missed it, please go and check our previous video. I'll be providing a link in the description box. Also, you can click I button at the right up of our video. Okay, today we are going to discuss about real-time triggers and duplications, which has happened with respect to a Salesforce, a real-time trigger. Okay, before we actually see what is a real-time trigger in Salesforce and how it works now, like in the present state, and what was there in the before. Okay, so what was changed in the Workato with respect to Salesforce real-time trigger, right? There was change in the workflow rules and the processing builders, which are got replicated at the Salesforce end. Because of that, now we or we means Workato have came up with a new strategy to overcome this particular issues, right? So if you would have been seen, like in the recent time when you have used a real-time trigger, at the right time, at the first time, it will work for the one of the record, or maybe one of the record will work. Going forward, whenever you create a series of bulk records, you can say that will not get triggered, and the from the background perspective, right? Workato will not be like the Salesforce will not be able to communicate to Workato that these are the following records got created at our end. So Workato will not be notified. How it will be easy, how it will be used, or how it will be can take that particular those records can be fetched from the Salesforce, right? It cannot be able to fetch it. So now there is a way of getting able to fetch those records using outbound message. Okay. Now see that in the next slide. Okay. Before that, like what will happen to your existing workflow? Okay. Existing rules will be supported. Okay. Whatever you have created right now, it will be supported. But you have a slight changes you have to do is you have to migrate whatever the rules you have created that has to be migrated uh, to the set of rules, like whatever the current Salesforce is have changed the rules, that will be like migrated to the set of flows. Okay, so that it will be like the existing flows will not be affected. Okay, so that's the one thing. Now what's happening behind the scenes, how basically it works, right? Let's see first understand uh, the real-time trigger, how it works in the present state. Okay, present in the present state in the Workato. It may change during our next future release or something. Before that, let's understand what's the the current release, how it works with respect to real-time trigger. Okay, Salesforce row, like the we'll be creating outbound messages in the Salesforce. We have to create, and we have to create in the sense here. Your dedicated team will be working as a Salesforce team, right? In the your organizations, or in with respect to enterprise a level of applications, there's a dedicated team, or like in organization level, there's a dedicated team will work on the Salesforce applications, and the dedicated team will work on the Poketo, and following way, the other application will be having a dedicated team for that, right? To handle or to figure out the issues and give a solution, right? Likewise, let's understand a Salesforce end. Now, in the Salesforce end, we have to create outbound message. Okay, where outbound messages URL, like the webhook, whatever the webhook URL you can say, that will be we are getting it from Workato. When we create a trigger as new news, any records get created or updated record from the in the Salesforce. Okay, that is a trigger point where we can see the outbound message URL. Like we can say like webhook URL. You can say that webhook URL will be uh, have to be registered in the outbound message flow, outbound message. Then we have to create a flow. That means you have to register. That means whenever there is a new record get created in the Salesforce, please try to send those messages or send that particular notification to the this particular message, like the outbound message URL, so that it's a kind of event trigger. Okay, so that webhook URL will be triggered, so that Workato will be notified with that. Okay, with that it will be process the record. Okay, now hope you have understood the a basic of what is outbound message and how what is flow in respect to Salesforce. Okay, now let's go and check how basically it works in a practical. Okay, practically we can see that. Let's see. Okay, now here we have created a recipe to understand this particular concept very well. Okay, it's a simple, very simple. I just took a new employee in Salesforce. Okay, as a trigger. Now, if you see, observe here, this is an endpoint URL, right? This is what it says. Trigger immediately as soon as trigger events. Example: new lead created occurs, like that, right? So this trigger automatically retrieves a job that have been missed if the recipe stopped when restarted. Okay. So this use this endpoint URL to set up the Salesforce flow, right? Means this complete guide is in present also in the your our Workato docs, but like few of you have not able to follow up that particular instruction. That's why I came up with a video so that everyone should understand or everyone will be able to know what is basically the new feature available in the with Salesforce new trigger, basically which will do Salesforce real-time trigger. Okay, so I'll just update one more here logger. Let's say logger. Okay, if any message comes. Okay, this is the actual a simple flow to understand. Okay, now what we have to do means, right? So what we have to do, we have to copy this. Okay, I'll show you. I already created the flow and outbound messages using this URL. Okay, but I'll show you that. Okay, see now, if you observe here, I have created a outbound message, right? You can see also you can create a new outbound message. Okay, click on this. When you create a new outbound message, just give object which object you want to work on, which you are working on. Now I'm currently working on what employee object, right? I'll be selecting employee. Okay, if I select this, when you go to next, sorry, oh, apologies for that. Okay, then I create when I select object, so they have to give the outbound message name for this. Okay, then it will be you have to select the all the fields, whether you want all the fields or we want a selected fields. From that you can select from the available fields column, you can select it and put it on the selected fields. Okay, that finish the particular outbound message setup. Okay, post this. Okay, you have to once you give an endpoint URL there, that will be set up your outbound message. Now what is next? You have to come to flow. Okay, you have to come to the flow. You have to select the example for the same for the outbound message also. You have to come to the setup here. Click on the setup. Okay, you able to see the home button, right? Just select like search flow. Okay, you will be able to see the flow here. Likewise, you have to search outbound message. Okay, likewise you have to click on the outbound message and create an outbound message there. Okay, hope you have hope you're able to follow up this particular thing, right? It's a main agenda of this particular session to understand the flow and outbound message. Now I'll click on the flows. Okay, I'm already in the flow, but I'll just select the flow. Now I'm the flow, right? All the flows it shows here. Now you can see here the package state, right? It is managed installed, means it is installed by the Salesforce itself. I'm not managing anything here. I'm managing only thing is like which I going to create, right? So what we are going to create, say example, if you created any one of the flow, that will be handled by your side, okay, or your team. So I'll click on the run employee record. I just gave a random name. It's not like we can like we have to follow the best practices. I just give you to understand what I'm doing here. Run employee record, right? So when we do this particular, okay, let me go back to again. Okay, let's see. I'll click it new flow. Okay, for to understand which one to select. Okay, there are few option comes when you creating a new flow, right? You have to select record triggered flow. Okay, when you want to, whenever there is a record is created, updated, deleted, this auto launched flow run in the background. Okay, that is the this is the flow you have to select for the to create. Okay, so once it's created, this is how it looks. Okay, you have to select the object and you have to select the trigger the flow when you want to trigger this particular flow. You can select the both create an update as well, or create a deleted or record is deleted or something. Okay, this is how it basically configure trigger. Yeah, and I'm not given any entry condition for this. You can also select the entry condition as well if you want to have a trigger condition to be trigger condition to be allow this particular flow to run. Okay, now the next action you have to select the outbound message, means which we have created, right? Which we created in the previous step, that is employee outbound message, right? That we have to select here. Okay, that will automatically gets created. So example, it will be when you click on this, say if you observe here, this is the what it shows. Also you can show, we can click on this, just say type outbound message. Okay, it will becomes whatever the message you have created, the outbound message created, it will be available in your flow. Okay, then it once is done, we are all set to run this to activate this flow. We have to save it, then activate this flow. That means we are all set. Whenever there is a new record get created in the Salesforce, be able to get the thing, like we'll able to get the message from Salesforce saying like it'll notify the Workato saying like I have created a new record. Please go and fetch it. I'm already triggered a flow. You were able to get a notification, means like you'll able to get the job for you to run this. Okay. So let's see what I'll do. What we can do is I'll create a sorry, not new contact. I have to go to employees. I'll just select I'll just create it. So you can see here what do you call it? There's a mandatory fields I gave. This is not be should not be like employee cannot be not required to give here. It should be automatically created. Okay, this is for only for the practice purpose. I'm just give you. Okay, this is for say like I'll just give John. Okay, employee I'll just give as randomly. Yeah. Contact ID is 123. Okay, 123. Okay, I just gave okay 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Right, I just gave a random number, so I just save it. Okay, now what should it should do? It should I be able to should we should get the a trigger right in the Workato. Now what we'll do, I'll just save this and I'll exit the recipe and just start the recipe. Now we should get what? We should get the record. Let's see what will happen. Okay, now see we got the job here. Let's see what. Okay, see now see here the employee name is John. This is what we got, right? So I have logged the message saying like the what's the name of the employee. This is John. Now this is what the how basically the real time trigger works. Okay, so hope you have understood what is real time trigger and what was the reason behind the deprecation of this. The basically how it was working before. Now it is not working right now. The Workato, the Salesforce new real-time trigger was not working previously. When we not set up the outbound message and all this thing, outbound message and the flow in the at the Salesforce end, it is not working. It will not be working basically. It will not work. So what we have did, we there is a new update which is coming from came from the Salesforce that workflow and the builder or what you can solve. That is the workflow is which is like previously it was there. It was deprecated. No more it's valid for any of the existing recipe. It will work anyway, but there is a way of migrating it to a new setup, like creating a flow and outbound messages as well. Okay, with the new updates, we created a recipe which will have a endpoint URL. From that, we have created outbound messages. Okay, I'm just to summarize, I'm doing it. Okay, to make you a revise, recollect the point we have discussed here. Then we created a outbound messages. Okay, then we created a flow using the record triggered flow. That will be looks like this. Then what we did, we have selected as trigger as a new record is created. Then once it's created in the Salesforce end, try to process that and send it to a notification to outbound message, like through outbound message URL, send it to Workato. Workato have processed it, and also we got the job. Okay, this is the how real-time trigger works. So hope you have understood and you start implementing in your newer recipe, means the whatever upcoming recipe you're going to create in the future recipes with respect to using real-time trigger. Please try to accommodate these changes. Okay, so that there is no any surprise that you'll not be there's no surprise saying like, oh, it's not working, even though it's a real time. Whenever I create, even though I created a record in the Salesforce, I'm not getting any notification, I'm not getting any kind of jobs in the pocket end. So you have to take a step back, and that's a real time trigger. Then try to make a changes in the Salesforce end. It is one is outbound setting up the outbound messages, and second thing is flow builder. Okay, that is like you have to create a flow. Okay, so with that, I'm ending this particular session. Hope you have understood and also enjoyed this session. Keep giving your comments, keep giving your support, so that we can keep giving you a better of best the videos or sessions on the what is happening at the Salesforce and or like what is happening in the Workato end and what is new features going to come. So definitely we'll give that as a knowledge. Um, so end of the day, it's all, everyone has a right to learn and give knowledge back. Okay. With that note, I'll say like thank you for your patience and listening to my video. Keep giving support. If you like it, please go and check our whatever the videos you have not seen. Also go and check that. Also share with your friends who are want to learn Workato and want to get into the integration, get into the integration field or domain. Try to share with them. Also give a feedback in the through comments, via comments you can say via comments you can give that whatever you feel and what is the improvements required. Will definitely take that particular improvement feedback, and definitely we'll improve ourselves, because at the end of the day is learning is important, improving also equally important when without learning, right? With that note, keep learning, keep enjoying your knowledge sharing as well. Thank you so much.